Good day, folks. My name is Paul Rencken from FEDSAS. I'm the Corporate and Business Development Manager, and today on behalf of the Centre of Finance and Risk Management, I'm speaking to Sarah-Anne Nixon from Standard Bank. Sarah, welcome, and maybe as a start, give us a bit of a background of Standard Bank's involvement, the education sector label, and what you're doing involved in the school spaces.
Sure, no problem. And hi, Paul. Thanks so much for having me. It's a great honor to be here today. So the education sector in Standard Bank started approximately 4 years ago when there was more emphasis and focus placed on the sector itself, because not only was there societal benefit that can be seen or felt, but there was also a commercial element to it as well. And so the education sector team was born. We're a big team of 4 people trying to change the world one day at a time. And part of our mission is to understand the sector from end to end as best we can. And in doing so, we can then solve for our client needs, either on the banking side or the non-banking side, or beyond banking side, if you will. And we partner with various different stakeholders, whether it be educational authorities, whether it be our own clients, whether it be the likes of FEDSAS. And in doing so, we can get to the root of the issue and solution for our clients as best we can. So working with FEDSAS, by having that connection with FEDSAS, we have the information on hand to make the solutions work and add value to the lives of our clients and beyond.
And folks, if you haven't noticed it, we have on our website got the webinar that Rian van den Berg and Sarah-Anne Nixon discussed more of what Standard Bank do and how they're involved in the education sector. Sarah, I do just have to smile though when you say you change things one at a time. Everybody often asks us, how do we in FEDSAS think we're going to change the education system in the country? And I say you change it one school at a time. So that's how you work on it. So yeah, we've got the same philosophy, I think, in that process. We also are fairly small in regards to the educational sector, but we believe our impact is worthwhile, and it's one school at a time that it works. I just want to touch on a term you used there, the solutions that you bring to school. Maybe how wide are you involved in schools at the moment? Don't necessarily need to name schools, but projects, and where do you get involved on the school side as clients, if we want to call it that?
So it's a great question. We do partner with a lot of our clients in understanding sort of what keeps them up at night. And we use that to then build out solutions. So whether you've got your grade 6s are battling with their maths, or you as a school are battling to collect unpaid school fees, those sorts of solutions are things that we bring to the table to go beyond the banking side of things, to add value in every way that we can. And again, that starts with understanding where the schools is at and what keeps it up at night and where we can potentially add value.
Maybe expand a little bit on that math side. I don't necessarily want to expand on the debt collection side of things. We know that's out there as well. We know about the problems with that one. But the maths one sounds exciting. Let us know a little bit more about where the maths involvement is.
So the math solution started when we realized that from a matric pass rate perspective, when you look at the maths numbers or the maths marks, there was a need for intervention. And where do you start? You start with the building blocks, so when they're in primary school. And so we partnered with a company called Matific. They have gamified the CAPS curriculum and basically the maths curriculum to make maths fun again. So it is a gamified version of sort of grades 0 all the way through to grade 7, and they're building on now, and the kids get to create little characters and move around the world solving maths problems in the background and building those foundational building blocks to make sure that they set themselves up for success when they get to a high school level. So it's loads of fun. We've had such positive remarks about the program, and kids are absolutely loving it. So that was just one example of how we've gone beyond the banking sphere.
No, that's fantastic. And how widespread is that program? Do you know? People always want to know figures and numbers or schools, and how widespread is it? And afterwards, when I ask you for details, I hope schools will get hold of you about that as well, so you can expand it. But presently, how big is that program going?
It's ever growing, but thinking of numbers and that sort of stuff, we do run an annual maths Olympiad with Matific. And I think over the last few years, we've had tens of thousands of kids come onto the program, do the Olympiad for the week and earn their certificates and prizes afterwards. So it's been awesome, and it's an ever growing piece that schools are getting involved in, which is awesome.
Okay. Sarah, in previous interviews, I've asked people for their pricing of their services, and I know it's going to be very specific to your school, so I'm not going to ask you that. But I would imagine you also get involved in helping schools fund projects, be it building projects, be it astroturfs, be it paddle courts, be it development, be it extra classrooms. Maybe expand a little bit on that. Are you involved in that at all? Or does that go through various other managers and not through your section?
So we actually work very closely with our schools, and just from a pricing perspective, it is very school dependent. So what we like to do is work with each school individually and see, what would work for them and what their needs are, and then go from there. But certainly from a lending perspective, we took quite a bit of time to understand the school sphere from a risk perspective in quite a lot of detail. And in doing so, we've been able to open up a lot of lending to schools specifically. We've had schools fund, new classrooms, an aquatic centre, astro fields, and the list goes on. So by just understanding their world in more detail, we've been able to open up a lot more lending for these schools and enable them to have such great facilities that can attract more learners.
Okay. No, that's super. Excellent. Thank you very much, Sarah-Anne. Could you maybe just give us some details? How do schools get hold of you? How do they contact you? Email? How do they contact you?
Absolutely. So we've got a dedicated email address that our entire team looks after. It's educationsa@standardbank.co.za, and it is a dedicated email box that you can send through any queries. If you aren't banking with Standard Bank, if you are banking with Standard Bank, you're welcome to reach out to your banker. But if not, you're welcome to reach out to us, and then we can then direct or guide you from there.
Thank you very much. Thanks for spending time with us. I know we are at the end of the year, and I know education is sort of closing the doors, but we appreciate your time that you've spent with us. We will obviously be flighting this through the times as we go through and run it through from there. I will, at the end of the video, also place your contact details so people can get hold of you. All the best. Hopefully we can grow it and grow it and grow it. And yeah, thanks very much, Sarah. I really appreciate the time that you've spent with us.
Thanks, Paul. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.